Hi, it's Ariel with Auto City in El Cajon, San Diego's award-winning used car dealership. Behind me is a 2018 Volkswagen Atlas SE in platinum gray metallic with a Titan black leatherette interior. This car has about 23,500 miles. The Atlas is Volkswagen's first ever full-size family SUV. It made its debut in the 2018 model year, and now that it's 2019, we're starting to see them arrive on our lot in droves. Now, it's no secret that I'm not personally an SUV fan, but I am a Volkswagen fan. And if an SUV is indeed what you seek, especially a full-size SUV with third-row seating, etc., why don't we find out if the Volkswagen Atlas is the right SUV for you? The Atlas is powered by a 3.6-liter 24-valve dual overhead cam transverse V6 engine. When mated to its 6-speed shiftable automatic transmission with sport mode, delivers 276 horsepower, 266 pound-feet of torque, or is it foot-pounds, and gets 25 miles to the gallon on the highway. It should be noted that Volkswagen went ahead and removed their mid-size Touareg from the US market as of 2017. So if you're a VW nut that's in need of something larger than a Tiguan, this is it. And large, it certainly is. Competing with the likes of the Mazda CX-9, Honda Pilot, Dodge Durango, GMC Acadia, etc. VW has also scrapped any future plans for a minivan in place of this family-oriented SUV with third-row seating and with creature comforts and cargo capacity that crush the competitors.
Shall we? Let's get that aircon pumping. It's a hot one today. Not that I'm complaining. I don't mind the heat. Very nice backup camera. Very nice graphics on it, too. That's really good. Yup. It's a Volkswagen. It really does drive like a Volkswagen, albeit a very large Volkswagen. VW's kind of bridged the gap between easy driving cars and fun driving cars. Steering is very lightweight, the pedal is very easy to manage. I don't feel out of control. It's a very simply clean car to drive. But Volkswagens also are a little bit Farfignugan, and this car's not boring to drive. It is, however, very large feeling in here. Again, that's not necessarily a bad thing, because if a full-size SUV is indeed what you're after, and you do enjoy a good, solid driving experience at a decent price, this is a good car. Now, visibility is surprisingly good in this car considering how big it is. I do have the third row of seats folded down. That certainly helps, but I have a nice clear field of vision into the rear window there through the rearview mirror. And all in all, the D-pillars are a little thick, but it really doesn't bother me. It doesn't cause so many blind spots. Now, the only thing about this car being so big is that I don't feel like I'm driving a car at all. I barely feel like I'm driving an SUV. It really feels more like a truck. The closest experience I can relate this to is driving a Toyota Tundra, like a really big truck. Were I to not look behind me and see that there were actually 3 rows of seats and it was an SUV, I would feel like I was driving a pickup truck. It's basically like driving a giant Golf.
Yup, it's a Volkswagen. The interior of this Atlas looks pretty similar to all the other Volkswagens, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. I happen to like Volkswagen interiors, and the build quality and materials they use are often better than their competitors, than other cars in this range, a Chevy or a Honda, etc. in this price range. You get a lot more in a Volkswagen than you do in those cars. Now, this is the SE trim, which does come with some nice amenities, but it doesn't come with as many amenities as the SEL trim. Still, you do have leatherette seating surfaces. You have heated front seats on both sides. You have aux and USB down there. You have nice cup holders. You have this very large, very classy glass LCD. That's not glass. You have this very large, very classy LCD system. You have a really huge center console storage unit over here with another USB charger port connector thing down there. Additionally, if you open up the glove compartment here, you'll see it has a disc, CD, DVD. I don't really actually know what it does or what you can do with that, but it's in there, and it also has an SD card slot. All in all, it's a pretty nice cockpit. Another plus is that the door pockets fit my water bottle. Even the back door. Eventually, I found the second row of seats to be a little stiff at first, kind of like the benches of your old school bus, but once properly reclined, they can get quite comfortable, provided the folks in the back don't need the extra leg room. Recline away. The middle row also includes its own climate control, plus a 12-volt socket and 2 more USB ports for charging your stuff. Now, provided you don't require the third row of seats be upright, the trunk is literally ginormous. Yes, this car does kind of drive like a truck, but it also cargoes like a truck. It's got a really impressive cargo area. Again, provided you don't have to have the third row of seats upright. Let's see what else is under here. There is some additional storage, not much, because the cover for the spare tire does sort of make it a little odd shaped, but you can store tools and little things in the little cubby areas down there. I really am impressed with the cargo capacity of this Atlas. However, let us make that third row of seats upright and see what we're left with.
It's pretty easy to pull up here, a little pull string.
Okay, with the third row of seats upright, the trunk is not small, but just pretty average. Now it's time to see if a full-size adult like myself can get into the third row of seats with ease. When I go to visit my sister and her kids in Florida, I often have to ride in the third row of her Mazda CX-9 because the middle row is occupied by car seats. So let's see if this car is easier or harder than a CX-9. Okay, here goes nothing. Oh, so these actually fold and slide forward pretty easily. There's actually a lot of space to get in here. That's not bad at all. Let's pull this back here. I don't know what you can see and what you can't. I am my own cameraman. Let's see. Okay, I gotta say, it's actually not so bad back here. Aside from the fact that you have this big sort of board kind of barricading you in that is the middle row of seats, there's plenty of leg room. Again, I'm not the tallest guy. I'm about 5'7", 5'8", but it's kind of fine back here. The headrests are a different story altogether, though. You have to have them raised up, otherwise they kind of hit your back in a weird way. Yeah, but once they're in position, I kind of like it back here. I'm gonna take a nap. Don't tell my boss.
Here's one thing that I wanted to point out while driving. The buttons around the center control unit here are not actual buttons. They're integrated into the glass. So for a buffoon like me, that would take a little getting used to, especially, trying to operate these buttons and feel your way around which one you want to access while driving. It's difficult for me to do that without taking my eyes off the road, and even when I do take my eyes off the road, I kind of like take a second to make sure I'm pushing the right one. Again, I'm a big dumb buffoon, so it might be easier for you. It does, however, look really cool. I do like the look of this center panel. Whoa! We got some wheel spin there. It's certainly not without lack of power. It does have a 3.6 liter V6 under the hood. It's actually been a while since we've seen a Volkswagen with a V6. Nowadays, most of them are built with a 1.8 or a 2 liter turbo engine. So it's kind of refreshing to see a V6 in these cars. This does have a transverse V6, and I don't necessarily know the benefits or drawbacks of this engine being transverse, but it is, so I figured it was noteworthy.
All in all, the Atlas is very much a VW. What that means is that you get a slightly more upscale feel and a more solid build than you do in other cars in this price range. So not only does it offer great value, practical space, and decent fuel economy, but it is quite farfignugan. Fun to drive. The SE trim may not have all the tech and luxuries of the SEL, and there are no doubt other full-size third-row SUVs out there that offer more tech and more luxury. But again, the key word here is value. The Atlas strikes the perfect balance between economical and desirable. Hence, value. This 2018 Atlas will go fast, but as I said before, more and more are arriving on our lot by the minute. So if you'd like to come take a look at one of these Atlases or any other cars we have on our award-winning lot, come visit us in El Cajon or check us out online at goautocity.com. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Keep driving. Auto City.